Welcome along everyone to another edition of In the Box Seat. My name is Mark Liddymore. We had the week off last week. Hopefully Ray Fewings will be back for In the Box Seat next week. He's been filling in over the last couple of weeks, but he's got the permanent gig from next week onwards. So we look forward to Ray having a bit of a rest at the moment. Ray Fewings back within the Box Seat from next week. Let's have a look at what's on today's show. Well, first of all, we'll look at the top tips we've got for you on the Wednesday program and also the big Thursday night card here at Angle Park featuring the semi-finals of the St Leger. We had the heats run here at the track last Wednesday, and 3 Victorians and 3 South Australians took out the heats. Sean Matcott had a couple, including the fastest heat winner in Grevillea Bale, which is racing in very good form at the moment. Robbie Britton's got a couple, and Push the Paint remains the series favourite despite running the slowest time of the heats last Wednesday. So those semi-finals, there's 3 of them to be conducted here at Angle Park on Thursday night. We've also got the Honey's Hot Tips for you, and Kim Johnston had a big night out here last Thursday night with 4 winners. I don't know if that was a personal best for Kim, but we'll be chatting to her later on in the program. We look forward to our chat with Kim Johnston. First of all, let's have a look at the program here on Wednesday on Sky Racing 1, the Wednesday program. 10 races here, the matinee card at Angle Park. The first of our tips comes up in race 5, number 1, Admiral Bale. We're tipping Sean Matcott to have a big day, actually. Admiral Bale, placed in the Group 3 Anniversary Cup early last year, back to Grade 5 company, looks hard to beat in race 5. And we move along to race 10, number 1, Noah Bale. Noah Bale has been contesting the open grade races in recent outings, but Sean Matcott's got this greyhound firing, has been placed 13 of 17 over the track and journey. Look out for Noah Bale in race 10. Having a look at what the Honeys have got for us on Thursday night, the Honeys Hot Tips, we go to race 3, number 1, Scotty Goes Red. For trainer Colin Swain, won last start at pretty big odds actually. Scotty Goes Red is racing in good form, is going for the hat-trick. Not the best of beginners, but look forward to it charging home at the end of its races. Scotty Goes Red in race 3. The first 4 combination there is 1 from 2, 4 and 3. And the other Honey's Hot Tip is race 7, number 3, Wickener for Karen Corby. Wickener took out the champion puppy last year. Was placed behind Claypan in its heat of the St Leger. Looks a very good chance of turning the tables on Claypan this week. Claypan going 29 and 96 when it won. Comes from box 8 against Wickener, so with the box draw, Wickener from box 3 does look hard to beat. Look for it to turn the tables on Claypan on Thursday night. Our first 4 combination there, by the way, is 3 from 8, 1 and 7. Having a look to what's on in South Australia on the weekend, there'll be a Sunday twilight program which goes to Gawler. Was previously programmed as a Port Pirie meeting, but due to the track issues they're having up north, Port Pirie won't kick in until at least July the 1st this year. So Gawler will be the program there on twilight. In the twilight program on the Sunday, it'll be a tab meeting on Sky Racing 2. Having a look at the national scene now here in Australia. First of all, the Australian Cup at the Meadows is coming up this Saturday night, the 5th of March, a Group 1 race worth $150,000. High Earner looks hard to beat, of course, broke the record for the amount of prize money Australasia, and does look hard to beat in the Australian Cup final there on Saturday night in Victoria. Speaking of the Meadows, the other Group 1 on the program is the Macro Meets Super Stayers over the 725 metres. That race is worth $50,000. In New South Wales, the Shoalhaven Greyhound Racing Club, the Nowra Summer Puppy Classic over the 520 metres, a Group 3 race. That final is coming up on the 14th of March with $15,000. And we go further north to Queensland at Albion Park, the running of the Brandon's Queensland Derby over the 520 metres. It's a Group 2 race. That is worth $25,000. The heats to be run this Thursday night, culminating in the final of Thursday week, the 10th of March. And finally, our in-the-box seat selection for Thursday night. It's in one of the heats of the St Leger. It comes up in race 8, number 2, New Year's Punch. Trained by Robbie Britton, was a winner in 30.04 in its heat here last Wednesday. I think has struck the weakest of the semi-finals. Does look hard to beat. New Year's Punch, race 8, number 2, is our in-the-box seat selection for this Thursday night. And coming up next, we've got a chat with Kim Johnston. Welcome back to the show. Our special guest on In the Box Seat this week is trainer Kim Johnston, who had a big night out here on Thursday night with 4 winners, and it was her equal personal best. And the greyhounds are going great guns at the moment, so we welcome Kim along to the show, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, we'll talk about those winners on Thursday night. First of all, Where Am I, which has been probably a bookie's favourite there at one stage. Looked as though it wasn't going to win a race for a while, but struck a bit of form here on Thursday.
Yeah, he struggles to run the 500 out here, so he's really a case of jumping to the front and just praying that nothing catches him. But he held on on Thursday night, so I was very happy with him.
Cora Bale is one racing in good form at the moment. Won its last 3 races in succession. Has terrific speed out of the boxes.
Yeah, he'd been missing the kick here at Angle Park, so I thought I'll take him to Gawler where he jumped and won, and he's jumped the next 2 starts here, so very happy with him too.
Peruse Bale is another one. Did not have much luck at Gawler the other night, but came back with a vengeance here on Thursday.
Peruse is a nightmare. I don't know if anyone's ever seen me handle him, but he is a dead set handful. But I was so happy he finally won a race because he's got a bit of ability.
What was your other winner? It escapes my mind at the moment.
Rocket.
Red Shoe Rocket, of course, yeah, gave Jacob J a bit of a start down the back. Jacob J's been racing in good form at the moment. The time wasn't that bad, but it gave that leader 5 lengths down the back, picked it up in a stride close to home, and it looked very impressive.
She's an honest little girl. I'm looking to step her up over distance. She's been over 700 in Melbourne, so hopefully we can get her up to there.
Where'd you happen to get her from anyway?
Through a man named Steve Creighton in Melbourne. He just rang me out of the blue, and I knew him when I was over there, and he just asked if I'd have a go with her, so it was good.
I won't ask how many greyhounds you've got in work.
Too many.
You've got too many, yes, because you do turn them over a bit, don't you? Because I suppose you try and keep the owners happy.
We do try to turn them over, but I tend to keep them a little bit longer. I've got a few waiting on the gap list, like Cadman and Villapoto, they're waiting, so I try to place them if I can.
I suppose Paul Wheeler's been one of your major players as well in the kennel as well. He's been a great supporter. Yeah,
I've been training for Paul for probably 11 years now. The first dog was Webster Bale, and yeah, he gives me a few. I don't have a huge kennel, so I have about 10 of his. So.
Of course, you're a family steeped in greyhound racing tradition. No doubt your father and your grandfather were 2 of the biggest influences on your training career.
Absolutely. Dad still helps out. I go down there twice a week and he checks over the dogs for me because something I haven't learned how to do. I'm just hopeless, but I am trying. But Dad is a super muscle man, so he points me in the right direction.
Okay, yeah, because you spent a few years back in Victoria. You came from South Australia, went to Victoria for a few years, and you had a bit of success over there. Yeah,
we were over there, I think, 7 years. Predominantly because we'd bought Brett Lee, but we had a small team in work and potted around the country tracks with a few city winners, but it was time to come back. Pop was sick and my sister had a few kids, so we came back for family, and I like it here.
You've been here about 4 or 5 years. You've been pretty consistent on the premiership table. You've been behind the Rasmussens, Steve Collins, Sean Matcott. You've always been up there, haven't you? But not quite up there to the best, but you've never had a real star in your kennel, have you?
No, I haven't had a star. Little Hudson Bale was looking like he'd be all right, but he unfortunately hurt himself. But I just have your bread and butter dogs. I tend to choke a bit with a good dog, but hopefully one day I'll get one, and if I have it from a young dog, I'm sure I'll be fine with it.
Have you got any favourite dog at the moment?
Well, my favourite's Cadman, but he's not racing anymore, but they're all the same. They're all, you've got to love them all.
What's the biggest win you've ever had in your career?
Training myself was Webster Bale. He won the SA Sprint title here and the Strath Cup, and he dedicated Greyhound of the Year. He was the dog that sort of put me in Paul's mind, so I loved him too. His name was Leroy.
Okay. And we'll go back a few years, but I remember a greyhound here called Tribute to Dad, which won at Derby here. Gee, he was a fantastic greyhound. Had a terrific record in Perth as well.
Yeah. He was a lovely, lovely dog. His name was Thunder, but he just was a delight. He was the first dog I handled in a group race, and I just loved him. He was just a terrific dog. You could always, no matter where he settled in the field, he always had a chance.
Have you got any new ones coming along at the moment?
No new ones. What you see is what you get in my world. Hopefully I've got a few going to Gap, and Magnolia Drive's due to have pups, so I have a few empty kennels. So we're looking for some dogs in about 3 or 4 weeks, so hopefully then we'll fire up a bit again.
Okay, well, good luck with the team at the moment. They seem to be firing on all cylinders at the moment, and hopefully there's many more wins in the future for yourself and Connections as well. So thanks, Kim, for joining us on the show, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
That was Kim Johnston, trainer of a few greyhounds here in South Australia, and having a good run after producing 4 winners here on Thursday night. Don't forget to watch In the Box Seat. Comes out every Tuesday around early afternoon on the grsa.com website. Simply follow the links on the In the Box Seat on the Greyhound Racing website, and you'll see the latest edition of the show. Hopefully Ray Fewings will be back next week with the upcoming editions of the In the Box Seat. So until then, happy punting everyone, and we'll catch you later.